speaker to begin. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Dhanalakshmi ji. Do we have participants? Do we have farmer participants there in audience?
Sir, there may or may not be participants, sir. But the meeting
Okay,
is recorded and it will be uploaded in our website. Our members will view it offline. Okay?
okay, okay,
You
okay,
can
okay.
start, sir.
So, Dhanalakshmi ji, thank you very much again for inviting me and wish you all and your viewer a happy new year.
Thank
Okay.
you very much,
And
sir.
my today's topic is establishing a dairy farm as a commercial business in India. And the specific feature of it is that we planned it and we made it profitable in 10 years time. And that is the story that we are talking today. So now, when we talk about dairy sector, we see 2 to 6 cow farmers. The per capita income is about $2,500 US still. And if India has to progress, right? So every person or the per capita income of India has to go from here, 2,500 to 6,500 in about 10 years' time. Now, do you see that viability with 4 to 6 cow farmers? I think going forward, if India has to proceed, progress, the farmer also have to progress, and they will have to progress from 4 to 6 cow farmers to at least 20 to 40 cow farmers. We are seeing that change already happening in some part of India, like in Punjab and Haryana, where we see most of the farm has now become 10 to 20 cow farms. And if you see the large farm average, it is about 40 to 60 cow farmers. Okay. So central and state government has also some supportive subsidies and other things around this, but everybody want farmers to go forward and beat the commercial scale. We are world's largest milk producer. We are largest consumer as well. Um, Having said that, we are shortest supply chain in the world. Having said that, we do not have enough companies, big companies, represent us in the form of dairy. There is hardly any export that goes out from India, and and whatever growth that you see worldwide, 50% growth come from India. So there are strong strategic proposition that we see that India has around dairy, and that certainly trickle down to dairy farmer as well. And therefore we wanted to start with a example farm. So initially, when we started this vision, it was 2009 when I started seeing how I can contribute, collaborate, or work with dairy farmers. I started working, but nobody took our advices seriously. And then we thought ultimately that unless we become farmers, nobody is going to take us seriously. And it is true. I mean, farmer learns from farmer. They are true navigator of situations, and unless somebody proves to them that they can do it, they don't take advice seriously. So we started this farm along with one Kiwi farmer who was also director of Fonterra until 2008. We four worked together, and then later another Kiwi farmer joined us. So we are 5 people today who has invested in this venture, and our beginning was very humble when we started. So this is about the map where we are. We are at the outskirt of Delhi. You see the map of India there and New Delhi there. New Delhi has a huge population that are ethnically milk consumers. They are basically North Indian people who has milk as a part, and in South India as well. I mean, wherever you go in India, milk is a primary part of our diet. So huge population that crave for good milk, and we are fortunate that our farm is very near to Delhi. It's about 50 kilometers from Delhi. Okay. When we started in the beginning, we did not start with with a very high investment. You can see top on right that we started with a bamboo shed. As soon we realized that if it has to be commercial farm, it has to have commercial driver attached to it, and we started planning for the proper shed and structure. You see on the top left, we all are have started planning in that very farm. You can see me doing AI at the farm myself, though I am an engineer. I learned how to do artificial insemination and started intervening, intervention myself. Now, looking at the situation, like we are situated near Delhi, you must be thinking that we are very resourceful. It is this more or less same situation across India. Whenever you have a cow in heat or whenever you need that AI to be done, you don't have enough resources in hand, and hence we had to learn it ourselves. At the bottom left corner, you see the plan for the farm coming up. We finally built our farm, just you are seeing in the plan. Soon after we started this farm with 50 heifers, we started to look for maize, and to our amazement, our first year yield was very poor. We were first or second year, I believe we start catching up with our Punjab peers later. So our first and second year yield was about 4 ton or 5 ton a acre, which was very poor. Whereas our peers in Punjab were yielding about 30 ton wet matter a acre. Okay, so that's how we learned step by step, side by side. First calf born on the same bamboo shed farm on 2013, and we started exploring other fodder crops that we may, do along with the maize and other sorghum and other farming crops. Today, you see this lush green farm. This got developed in 2015. Finally, we could able to bring a lot of commercial scale to it. Today, we have about 380 heads on site. About 210 of them are in milk, and we produce about 1 million liters of milk every year. Okay. This is how we have achieved finally the growth and the drivers that we needed. We needed good crops to back our farm. Every day we put about 15 to 20 ton of fodder on our feed manger. So we needed that expanse of farming and that scale of farming and that effectiveness of farming. And you see here we are growing fodder year around. Yeah, year around now, and our goal is to maximize the yield out of these fields. So that's how, these are some of the drivers that you may need to explore even before you start thinking about scaling your herd or establishing a commercial farm. Okay. There is another thing that our impetus is minimum use of purchased concentrate. Okay, this is one of the shed that you see, and this is not usual in North India. A lot of people are breeding HF cows because they seemingly yield more milk, but that means that they need more maintenance. And if you compare the profitability with jerseys, we found that jerseys are more profitable, or compact cows are more profitable than the big Holstein Friesian cow. They yield much, but then their turnaround cycle, intercalving cycle is longer, and that actually makes them they are highly productive, but that actually drags them down on the profitability chart. This is a 20-a-side uh, herringbone parlor where 20 cows can be milked at one one time, all developed within India. We have imported certain equipment from outside India, but most of it is done in India. Most of the infrastructure is done in India. Some of the equipments are bought from a very good company called Dilabal. Some of these component like pulsator are brought back from New Zealand. We use CIP. I mean, all this parlor is cleaning in place with the detergent and hot water. So, and that actually makes our milk very, very pristine. Now, here in this busy slide, you see the result that has been tested in New Zealand lab, and you see Binsar farm milk here. The 3,000 bacterial cell, TBC, we call total bacterial count per ml of milk, whereas outsourced milk on that day had about 76 lakh, 36,000. So that's a great jump in terms of quality. Okay. Yeah, again, on the other day, we are just showing 12,000 liters. So in a way, we what we are saying is that, and then in terms of aflatoxins and antibiotic residue and all, we are controlling our milk in every manner. Now, with that, we want to tell you that every farmer wants to produce a high quality, nutritious, safe milk. It's just that sometimes they lack awareness around the hygiene, or they lack awareness around the segregation of the herd. Sometimes they lack the cleanliness protocols, which require constant feedback, right? But those feedbacks are missing in our system, and that's what we are also doing with other farmers that we are associated with. We Whenever we buy milk from them, it's invariably we buy more milk because we are selling more in Delhi market now. So we buy milk from them and we give them constant feedback. Sometimes we go intervene with their equipment, or sometimes we also help them with the protocols that cow would need. um, the quality narrative is changing. I mean, more focus is on microbiology these days. Consumers are more aware. They want to see good milk on their table. Binsar team has proved that it can produce milk quality at international quality standard, and that is our slogan when we go. So Binsar happened to be a brand as well in the market. Okay, this is one of the another feature that we are working. It's a nutritional planning tool where we register year-round values of nutrients that we receive from the market, and we keep charting them so that we can help ourselves with the feedback and also help other farmers to optimize their feed inputs. Okay, so we want to develop this as a tool, as a electronic tool for farmers, so that they can choose year round feed and fodder available in their region. This is something which is an ongoing work. We are still collecting data, a lot of data, and once we know that we have achieved a critical mass, possibly we'll come up with a tool around it. Same way, we have a livestock simulation tool. We are again collecting data, feeding it back, understanding how it is different from the operation we are running, what intervention or fine tuning that it may need it. And this is another tool that we are developing. We are able to track livestock growth. We are able to track the disease and hormone intervention. We are able to track other stuff like growth and other parameters. And today we know that lameness is a big setback for any farmers. Sometimes they do not understand the value of keeping the herd health, and especially the foot health intact, and that leads to a long-term failure for a farmer. So those are some of the revealing inferences that we are getting from these tools. Okay, so today the data that we have is about millions of data points. This is a slightly dated slide. I believe we are much more than 3 million data point now, but we are mapping those data against seasons, nutrition, milk production, lameness, mastitis, disease, other disease, genetics, reproduction. And this data, when we saw it closely, that made sense for compact cows that we are developing. Critic, Critically importance for calf rearing. We also know that how much we can spend on the calf to keep them healthy and to make them on target, and how they can benefit us in a longer run. Knowing, growing, and sourcing quality feed, that's what we are doing. More forage, and we are optimizing on concentrate. So we have also integrated a processing unit along with the farm. This is the equipment that you see. It's all in house. We have range of product that has been developed over times. It doesn't happen overnight. We took about oh, sorry we took about 10, 12 years to develop this market and this capability. So don't get carried away with this thought or vision at once. Just do your work step by step, and you will see that new scenario or new opportunity will emerge side by side. As I said, these are some of our delivery boys who roam around Delhi. We have 180 here, 150 delivery boy, they have written. We have 180 delivery boy today, and we do about 7,000 homes every day. Okay. And we are also selling bulk milk to quality procurer, like some of the sweet shops and some of the people who are who make baby formula. We send milk to them as well. Mm, Every 24 hour we knock door 7,000 homes. So finally, I mean, farm is a leaky bucket. When we see that how many farms around us has failed, the situation is very grim. About 9 to 10 farms around us who has started with so many number of animals with a very um, ambitious goal that they will start with hundreds at once. They miserably failed. I had purposefully removed their name from here, but everybody wanted to start big, and ultimately they could not able to sustain because of one or other reason. Though everybody wanted to target to end consumer, but then dairy operation is complex and it has to be understood in step by step fashion. Our herd is about 400 cows now, but what we procured initially was just 50 cows. So we have uh, grown it very, very slowly, and evolve this farm along with the competencies of our farm workers and ourselves. Okay. Um, so it's not only the business side of it that we are focusing on. We are also creating a significant economic impact on the village. We are largest employer of that village where we have lifted livelihood for the people who were not so well doing before we were there. um, Women are part of our integral part of our culture. They are best herdmen. They are the best milker. At the moment, they are cleaning bottles. Some of them are milking cows. We do a quarterly workshop for other dairy entrepreneurs as well, and we keep sharing this knowledge. Just like today in this forum, we keep sharing this knowledge with other people, and people keep visiting us. So some of the farmers from this forum, if they would like to come over and work along with us for 1 or 2 days and learn things, you are most welcome. Contact the host here, and we may possibly do a tour for you. Okay. As I said, we are not only commercial, we are also looking at the social outcome for this project. And there is a school nearby, which is a government school, and we send them a complimentary bottle every day. We are also helping them to come up with a toilet facility. You can see on the right hand side, a toilet facility was built for Balak and Balika, both uh, girls and boys, both, and supported by Binsar Farm. So we see a positive impact going there. Okay, so it's a very we are in a very critical time, as I said, and I started at the beginning, that there is a tipping point now, that what we are asking, that where the next generation of farmers will come now, asking these boys and girls that what they want to become. Most of them wanted to become doctor, teacher, policeman, nurse, and go to Indian Army, but none of them wanted to become farmers. And challenge this challenge is not only in India but worldwide. And dairy need enterprising people. Please do not underestimate dairy or any farmers. They are the most enterprising people, and we need them. But unfortunately, once they are gone out, studied properly, found a job where they are solving one task, they are happy doing that rather than coming back and taking the dairy or farming challenges. And I think next generation is less and less people in next generation going to take it. So it's a greater, so on other side, if you see, it's a good opportunity for people who want to do commercial farming, which means that you must have a commercial scale, and that scale can be anything, but around 30 cows or 40 cows at this moment, or 40 buffaloes at this moment. And if you start there, then you would earn as much as your peers in cities, and you can boast the same lifestyle, possibly better, because you are not leaving your homes. And once you see depletion of further farmers, you can grow your herds, and grow your competency to earn the rightful share in the milk pool. Okay, so one of the benefit that we got, that we were very close to Delhi, and I mean, this is old data, but so far we are able to sell about 20 million liters. That means that we could able to knock 20 million times on our customer's door. This is something that I leave you with, and that's it. I think this was my last slide. In case you have any questions, or maybe you have queries later on, you can contact our host, and you can possibly approach us through them for a site visit or a session further on. So thank you very much. Hello, madam.
Very much, sir, for a wonderful talk. I will take up the
Yeah.
questions now. In the meantime, can
Yeah.
you please stop sharing the screen, sir, so that I can
Okay, okay,
see
okay,
your
just
video?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm running it from my browser, I believe.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, this is
But
fine. Perfect, sir. Okay.
this is uh,
Yeah.
did I stop sharing, or
Yeah, yeah,
this
it is
is
done, sir. It is done.
okay,
Okay.
okay, okay,
Okay.
okay,
I
okay,
will
okay.
take up the questions now.
Yes, yes,
The
yes.
first question is which breeds of dairy cattle are best suited for high yield and adaptability to the climate?
Yes, so we also struggled initially, because everybody in our neighborhood was going for Holstein Friesian. Those are big, big cows. And we figured out in about 2, 3 years' times that big cows yield more initially, but then over time, they become more expensive to maintain. and their yield is offset by the expense that we incur. So finally, we found that a cow that look like Jersey or between Jersey and HF would be the cow that we will be going for. So you would see in our presentation that most of the cow that we have now are either toward Jersey or in between Jersey and Holstein. So none of the cows goes above 550 kg of full body weight, whereas Holstein Friesian goes to 700, 700, or sometime 780 or 800 kg, which is a huge cow to maintain in our environment. So that is a very good question indeed. Uh, we uh, we took that early on. We learned from the data and found that Jersey or Kiwi cross, so to say, are more effective in Indian environment. They are well adapted to the feed and fodder that we have, and they are well adapted to the humidity, hot and humid environment that we have.
Okay. What factors should be considered while procuring dairy cattle?
Uh, See, so I'm not an expert, as you know that I'm an engineer who started working in dairy. Over time, we realized that certain characters are good. More than that, I believe if you can stay with farmer where you are buying and see cattle yielding, um, yeah, and have an expert who can guide you in that. I'm not a cattle expert as per, to your shock, for every cow that we bought, um, we had to buy two and a half cow. Every cow that we end up keeping, we had to buy two and a half cow. We were fortunate that we had that money to shell, but normally a farmer doesn't have that much. But farmers are much more wiser as well. I mean, they have lived and breathed the dairy for long, so they know most of the time. If you're not farmer yourself, then possibly you can take assistance from others. If you need help from us, then we have our own team who can help you find good cows, but they are in north. Uh, Possibly you people are in south. Bangalore and around has good cows, so you can rest assured that you will get somebody here who can guide you.
Okay. What is the approximate initial investments required to start a medium scale dairy farm?
Well, that's a very good question, and that depends on the level of knowledge that you are starting with. For us, it was huge. I mean, we incurred about 7 crore rupees to build the infrastructure and all. So, and that was partially because our goal was to host about 500 cows, and we spent that money in building that infrastructure. And partially that was the reason that it took us long time to level up with the investment that we made. So you can begin with a small, I believe, and cap it at 40, 50 cow farm. If you are doing bigger than that, then involve professionals who can help you. We also help people. I'm not selling a service to you, but in case you need help and you are not getting from your near about, then you can come visit us. If you are happy, even observing that, we are good. Otherwise, if you need our help, then we can possibly help you. Oh, coming here and helping you out.
Okay. What
Mm.
funding or subsidy schemes are available for dairy farming, sir?
Nothing for commercial dairy farm. There is no subsidy. Only in our region. It depends on where you are in India, but in our region, you can get subsidy up to 10 animals, and that too. I mean, 10 young animals that you can breed and grow. People go for that, but I believe if you depend on subsidies, then I'm not a big fan of subsidies, madam. And but but we have not taken any, and there is not available any for commercial farms.
Okay.
Mm.
I'll take up the next question, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
What is the best diet plan for maximizing milk production in dairy cattle?
Okay, so diet plan again. I mean, it depends on what is your green fodder, uh, uh, how much is coming from your green fodder, right? In Bangalore and region, if you are in South India, you have Co4, Co3, good crops here. You have other elephant grass and other crops. Those have good protein level. Even maize has a good protein level. So the I can tell you about the percentage of protein or maybe fat. Percentage should be about 3 to 4%. Protein should be about 14 to 16%. For the calves and growing heifers, you may need more protein levels. But then how you achieve that depends on what is available in your area. I can't just tell you. Agriculture is a local phenomena, madam. We we all have same drivers almost, but then the raw material which is available to all of us is different. And we have to accommodate to that, and that's why I said, farmers are the best entrepreneur in the world. They find out what is available and how to make best out of it. um, you will have to find out your environment. It's a very daunting job, but it's rewarding as well if you do it properly. um, yeah.
Okay. What are
Yeah.
the common health challenges in dairy cattle and how can they be prevented or managed?
Yeah, animal health is a very common challenge. I mean, the tick-borne diseases, the FMDs, the BQ, those all prevalent disease for those we are endemic country. Those are a big eater of your profit. Brucellosis is biggest eater of your profit because um, brucellosis actually impact the pregnancy. It terminates the pregnancy. It not only terminates, but it's a communicable disease. Once a cow that has terminated its pregnancy, it can spread up to 16 to 18 cows in vicinity. So it's a very deadly thing that one should actually look at very early in the process. Um, FMD, BQ, and BS, all those are possibly one time in the herd, but brucellosis is something which is very difficult to get rid of. Most of the farm has it, and we'll have to accept that, and we'll have to do something about that. So if you have NDRI, National Dairy Research Institute around you, or local agriculture university, then you please go to them and find out how you can possibly contain this disease. We are very fortunate. Around us, we have Hisar University, and university took very good interest initially when we were establishing. So we are brucellosis controlled farm today. But then there are outbreaks. There are other outbreaks like FMD. Twice we have been affected by FMD. Very fortunate that our vaccination was done, so not so much damage. So vaccination is your friend. You should keep doing vaccination. You should keep doing those regimes, vaccination regime, then take with you. What should I mean, yeah, so brucellosis is one. Others are also there, but they have vaccines for them. There are few calf related disease, calf scores and all, uh, that actually you know impact the animal health at the very beginning, and that actually limit the potential of calf milking when they become cows. So those also needed to be looked at. So it's a full-fledged all around business where you need to know every bit of, just like your family, you have to keep them. And that's why I said, without competency, you shouldn't grow your herd. Otherwise, it's a leaky bucket, and you may end up doing more harm to your financial condition than actually gaining from it. So start slowly, and then grow side by side.
Okay. What techniques or equipment are used to ensure milk quality and hygiene?
Okay, so one of the things that you should avoid is avoid hand milking your cows. If you have any, if you have more than 10 number of cows, then avoid hand milking your cows. Um, Chill the milk as soon as you as you harvest it from the cow. So you should have a chilling infrastructure. More than that, you should have washing and hot water infrastructure. So you must have a geyser or a sort of, steam maker in your facility so that you can wash these. Now they look, I mean, you can do it, even if you have 20-liter geyser at your facility. If you can run those 20-liter in your 500-liter tank every day with the detergent, I think that will help you doing this. Apart from that, I think teat cow teat hygiene is also very important. Need to have cow dips, teat dips, time to time. You should keep checking teat score time to time, that they are not damaged, or there is no uh, swelling or redness. Other score that you can uh, keep track of is somatic cell count. If somatic cell count goes in your milk very high, then it means that there is an infection in your herd, and you need to take that off before it become mastitis or other things. So I mean, again, it has a whole regime to follow when it comes to it. So I think, madam, if these questions are really coming from farmers more often, then we can have following workshops on each of these topics, that what to do, when to do, how to do, what all needed to be taken care and all. Yeah. Yeah.
What techniques or equipments are used to ensure milk quality and hygiene?
That's what I responded, madam. I think
Sorry,
you
sir, I
just
will move on
repeated.
to the
Yeah,
next
yeah,
question.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Is it more profitable to sell raw milk or should the focus be on value added products?
Oh, well, you can move to value-added product. Depends again. I mean, all my answers are depends, because see, selling raw milk is the best proposition because you don't have to do much apart from taking care of your herd, milking twice a day. Once you get into the downstream operation, like creating value-added product out of your milk, that is always the profitable thing. As you see, we are also doing that, but don't do that overnight. I mean, don't think that on day one or year one you will be doing that. Plan it accordingly. Let's say that you are starting with 20 cows today. Make a target that you reach to 60 cows in about 3 to 5 years time, and then you start. Once you reach a commercial scale, then you start doing other businesses on top of it, like value addition, or like selling it directly to the consumers, because everything takes its own course to get developed. Every function has its own need of human resource and the talent. So don't constrict yourself, on just because you want to earn more, or you are seeing more earning, by integrating it all. We were fortunate that because first we had some money in hand to spend early on, and then we were three partners working on the ground. One was looking at farm, other was looking at developing consumers, and this other was looking at factory. So uh, if you have manpower available, if you have HR along with you, if you have people along with you, then only you take that plunge. Otherwise, I would suggest, if you are a lone dairy farmers, then please first bring your herd to a commercial scale, because more cows, more milking cows you will have in the herd, more profit you will turn out, rather than value adding a 20 cow farm, making a value adding proposition on 20 cow farms. I would rather suggest that you go for 40 cows and sell the raw milk. That is the best. And sell heifers and other followers as well. I mean, from Binsar farm, we not only earn from selling milk, but we also earn from selling our, yeah, our livestock. So yeah, that is big. That is a big part of our bottom line.
Okay. I'll take up the next question, sir. What is the primary focus of Binsar Farm, sir?
Um, that's a very good question. Binsar Farms started with a very ambitious task, that we will create knowledge around dairy farming. We will build a commercial dairy farm and help other farmers to come up to that commercial scale. So we were all engineers. I know I am still based out of Bangalore that way. So I am engineer, worked here for some companies. My other two partners are also engineer. They also were placed in different part of the country. So we all assembled one day, and thought that we should do something for our fellow farmers. And the best thing that we could do is that create an example farm. So Binsar is a very good example farm today. We are a good resource center to learn from. I'm happy that we are profitable now, so there's no looking back. So uh, in a way that we are we are we are we are proud that we could able to achieve what we have, but there's so much more to do, that so much more farmers needed to join hands. So we want to build on that success.
Okay. What unique practices or technologies does your farm implement in its operations, sir?
Okay, so when you become commercial farm or big farm, you need certain equipments, tools, like you need a feed disperser, you need a milking machine or vacuum pump, you need a CIP, cleaning in place equipment. But apart from that, if you see, there is nothing great or nothing in terms of technology. We are not, we have not employed any bells and whistle on the farms. The farm is quite simple. Just because it's a big, just because we have to milk 200 cows at once, we have some infrastructure for milking them. But apart from that, the normal farm operation is very simple. It's few tractors and, and feed dispensers and all that. We do not have much at the farm. Very simple. We have kept it very simple. Any farmers can replicate it. Any farmer can replicate it.
Okay. Can you share any significant success story or milestone that stands out in Binsar Farm's history?
Yes, so there are many. I mean, when we had our first calf, that was a very first milestone, that we had milk on our farm. The very first time when we moved to a new farm and we start milking more than 100 cows, that time there was a good revenue stream that started coming. So that was another thing. When we started our first milk bottle to direct to consumer, that was another thing that we really remember, around 2016-17 time frame. And then every time there was a new 1,000 liter added to the volume. There's a new, there's a new opportunity to cherish or celebrate it. Um, so, I mean, it's a gradual journey, madam. If you understand it, it's a 12 year now. So we have not achieved it overnight. Um, Everything has come very, very slowly and gradually. So uh, even if there are so many milestones, uh, there was a much more effort behind each, and there was much less time to celebrate, I would say.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. We have now completed
Yeah,
the round of questions. On behalf of
yeah.
agricultureinformation.com, we like to thank
Uh-huh.
Mr. Pankaj Navani for the talk and for answering the questions. This meeting
Yeah.
will now be closed.
Thank you, madam. Thank you
You're
very
most
much for
welcome, sir.
for inviting. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.